No pressure, Jesse.
Nah, I feel none.
Jose, we're putting pressure on you. Are we good to go? Bet.
To whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worrying. I get it, the odds can stack back against the wall, but even consider it such, no, you'll stand tall.
We're back with another episode of Stealing from Friends, where we bring on dope people that do dope stuff. Now, here's the thing. It's called Stealing from Friends, and because of the stereotypes that come with me being as melanated and good looking as I am, this podcast is not about actual stealing. It's where we bring on folks that actually are different fields and all that good stuff and kind of see what makes them tick, what made them do what they do. And hopefully from that, we can steal more information. And so if this is a space you want to go into, we got the source. We didn't have to pay for it. We just took it from them. All right. So for today's guest is a person who beats people up. I'm just going to get as simple as that, and we'll kind of have him get into it. So today's guest is Jessie. So what's going on, big dog?
Hey, what's happening, bro?
Man, cannot call it. So for folks that don't know you, because I just asked him actually about MMA, kickboxing, all the things. That's not my realm. I don't really know a lot about it. I know Floyd, but outside of Floyd, I really don't know anybody else. So kind of tell us a little bit about what you do, what you got into it, and all the good stuff.
I'm a professional fighter, boxer.
Mhm.
You know, I do boxing strictly. I don't do the MMA and
Okay.
nothing like that. I do what Floyd does.
Okay.
So that's about it. I've been fighting since I was like 8 years old, 25 now, so 17 years.
Dang.
Yeah. So
Was it because you was a bad kid? What you mean you was fighting since you was 8?
Nah,
Dad just said, get out there and fight or something? What?
yeah, we was wrestling at first. I think around like 7 I started wrestling.
Uh-huh.
And I wasn't doing too good.
Yeah.
So he put me in boxing, and I just took off with boxing. Like, I guess I was just able to beat everybody.
Look, was I guess so? Yeah.
Then when I went back to wrestling the next year too, I started beating everybody in wrestling.
Come on with it. So was it so you got some professional training, and then you kind of applied that to stuff you did in school?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yep.
How similar I'm probably mess it up, wrestling and what you do now? Or is it completely different and the training is different? And
Nah, I mean, there's some similarities to it. It's not like entirely different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they got this one trophy, one winner. You know what I'm saying? One person who's wrestling, one person boxing. You know what I'm saying?
Different weight class, different weight class.
They got different weight classes and all that. So
okay,
it's pretty much the same.
So where would you say you fall in from, like you and like Stone Cold Steve Under, like or the Undertaker, like, or the Rock, like, or this wrestling is different from?
Nah.
Okay.
That's like WWE.
I'm talking about
like wrestling, right?
Like the gripplings and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Now, Pops, you said like around 8, he started fighting a lot of kids around the neighborhood. So or what was it that said, you know what, I think I'm gonna go ahead and kind of fine tune what he got going on right here?
Well, like you said, I had put him in wrestling, and he was doing good, but he had a few matches where he stumbled on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, man, let me find something to help with the footwork, and that's when I put him in boxing. And he trained in boxing for like about a year. Then I brought him back to wrestling.
Yeah,
and he just took off in both sports. To be honest with you,
is this one of those things where you already had an interest, or you more so saw he had an interest, and you was like, all right, how can I fine tune this? Where did this come up to be? I
mean, I was a typical kid from the 80s, and watching like all the, I could say like like Van Damme's and all those kind of movies. So I was always into that type of stuff. And then once I had my son, somebody introduced me to wrestling, and then after that I was just kind of hooked. And then when I put him in boxing, the same thing. I just kind of got hooked in that, and then we just went from there.
Man, so so you started doing the wrestling is in high school.
No, you can start at like, I started at 7.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So wrestling is more so is more so in grade school. But where did you start doing the boxing?
I started boxing at 8.
Okay, dang, you did both of these back to back. Yeah. Okay. So what was that journey like from you whooping up on the kids as you're younger and as you're starting to kind of evolve a little bit? Like, tell me kind of what's happened in the progression. Are you wanting to go pro at this time and all this stuff? Or are you just doing it because you have fun? Like, it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, mainly we were doing it just because, I mean, I was winning when, 8, 9, 10, I started winning like national titles. 11, 12, more national titles.
Soft flex, y'all. Soft flex.
And then 13, 14, 15, 16, I think 16, I became like number 1 fighter in US of A at my weight class.
Yeah.
And then after that, I had took I had took some time off from like 16 to I was like 18. And then I had some little,
adjustments to make.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah. So after that, I came back at like 18, trained again, fought in a few national tournaments, turned pro at like 22, and then now I'm 25, having my 10th fight.
Y'all can't tell. Y'all thought he was 16. He's 25. He grown.
Yeah,
he grown.
grown.
So with you being in this space, I'd assume a lot of training happens, right? I guess, what does a training day look like? Is it like 2 days for football? In the morning, you eat, sleep, and then you back at it, or?
Yeah, usually my training right now is I usually wake up, I get a run fasted, like 5 miles. Come back.
Just 5 miles.
5 miles.
Yeah.
5 miles. And then I come back and I do got like this yogurt. I eat like some kefir in the morning, berries and all that. And then around like noon, I do CrossFit. It's just for like strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
I do that over there out where I'm from. They got a little place called Metcon Athletics.
Shout out to Metcon.
Exactly.
Probably messing up the name. I'm sorry.
But they help me with my strength and conditioning, get me strong, push me to my limits. Make sure that
I heard that
I'm peaked. And then at like 5, we do the boxing.
We still doing stuff. Jesus. All right.
Yeah. Then we do the boxing at 5, and we get everything. Tuesdays, Thursdays usually sparring days. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays is pad work, bag work.
Of course, I was just saying the other day, pad work and bat work. That's like my. When do you chill with homies? When is the homie or relationship or the? Do you have any of that time, or is it just training during a particular season and you chill out?
Like next week probably I'll probably chill out. And stuff
I would say
like
after the event. Okay, that makes sense.
After the event, you know what I'm saying. But like for at least 7, 8 weeks, I kind of like to just lock in. I don't do nothing. Like just train, eat right. You know what I'm saying. On the weekends, you can chill and do like a little something.
What's a little something for you if you're training this hard? Like bowling? What do you?
Like we go like play pool.
Okay.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Like might go to one of their houses, play some video games.
Okay.
That's kind of like
you're not about to go out and hey, I want to spar for fun or anything.
Nah,
okay.
I don't want to do that.
You don't want to hurt your friends. Okay.
Like I try to keep them away from it for a long time, until eventually they kind of came to me and was like, man, can we come train at your gym? And I was just like, yeah, come on through. And I know, every now and then they're kind of like wanting to spar me, but I can't
lay you down like I want to.
I
don't want to be that person for you. Okay. Now, Pops, as you're seeing all this, oftentimes we as parents we're either great coaches or we're like, nope, I cannot coach my kid. He has to go to somebody else. So as he's kind of getting some of this training, have you picked up any of that with him, or you just simply gave it to the other folks to do the thing?
No. At first, when he first started at 8 years old, I used to drop him off at the gym, and I started to notice when I pick him back up, like he wasn't sweating, or he didn't look like he was doing anything. Yeah. So like I found out they had a big TV in one of the rooms, and Mr. Bo was Coach Bo Williford. That was his former coach. Man. Yeah. He passed away in 2019, I believe. But he had a big TV in there, and he would go in there and sit down. And he was watching TV or whatever.
That was his training?
Apparently, man. So after that, that's when I said, man, I can't drop him off no more. And I just started staying with him every day. And then as he grew, I grew. And we both picked up on the same thing. And I just train him full time now.
Nice. What is it like being in this particular space? Because, you hear about a lot of, I would say you would be a Disney actor where you're starting really young and families are kind of like right there with it. What is it like having your folks right there as you're kind of going up through the ranks and whatnot?
It feels good. You know what I'm saying? I have my family all connected with it, and just being a boxing family. When I was around like 16, 17, it got a little rough, I guess, kind of wanting to not train so much and have friends and just kind of like break off and stuff like that.
You see them doing stuff and gotcha.
Yeah, so around like 17, 18, I had won like every tournament when I was like 16. Like that whole year, I won ringside tournament. That's when I became number 1.
Yeah.
And by the end of the year, it was just kind of like no one really like kind of cared in my hometown or like in my city. And I was just kind of like, man.
Oh, they don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, like what am I doing this for? So I took some time off, and I kind of got like super depressed.
Yeah.
Like bad, and I had gained like the only way I could, I guess, feel good about myself was eat.
Yeah.
So I had gained like 100 pounds. Like I was 260 pounds.
So I can imagine this real quick. How much you weigh now?
I weighed in 140 today, 141.
I cannot see you at no 260. So
I gotta show you a picture. It was bad. It was bad. Yeah. And after a while, man, though, like once I had hit that point and I realized what I was doing, I was just slowly, killing myself. I was just like, man, being normal ain't really all it's cracked up to
or being regular. Yeah, exactly.
So then I was just like, started
get
working.
Back in it. Yeah.
Get back in it. And at that time, Tyson Fury had came back to boxing when he was.
For those who don't know, you say his name. Kind of, what does he do? Who's that?
Tyson Fury is a former heavyweight world champion, and he had quit, gained like 150 pounds, came back, man. Exactly, and he beat Deontay Wilder.
Yeah,
and he kind of inspired me to go back and get back down and start training and stuff. And so I had lost most of the weight, got down to like 165, and I fought in like what was it, like the 2019 qualifiers?
Yeah, 2019. It was the nationals that would qualify you for the Olympic trials.
Dang,
at that time, yeah.
And I was fighting at 165 with like monsters, like them dudes was big.
Yeah,
but I was beating them all. I mean, I wasn't, because I'm a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? I have the skills.
I know what I am. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had lost, I think, right before the semifinals. And I think if you win the semifinals or if you make it there, you get the ticket. I had lost like right there. I lost a split decision. I thought I won. But I mean, it was a super close fight.
How are you feeling at that time? Because you did take off and now you're getting back in it. So, I mean, did you expect there to be a little bit of a pre-gap before you start like being back at the peak, or you was like, nah, I got this?
I think there was like a gap for a little bit, because coming down like from the weight where I was and getting back into it, I had to spar a lot of different people, and the weights fluctuating and stuff, and just trying to stay locked in on it.
Because just 1 or 2 pounds can put you in a whole nother
weight class. Exactly.
And you're on the low end of that. Okay. Dang.
So yeah, it took some time and stuff. But I mean, it was kind of better for me to kind of take that time off, come back and all that, just because it helped me grow into a better fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these guys are turning pro at like 16, 17.
Yeah.
And they still have to grow and build into a fighter, which takes 2, 3, 4, 5 years anyways.
Right.
So now they're just professionals, you know what I'm saying? Taking 5 years to finally
get to that.
You know what I'm saying?
Piece. That makes sense.
Like,
so for you being where you are when you were depressed, how did that look? Did you ever be like, Jesse, you better get up, go to the gym, or were you so like, I could see maybe what kind of why he's burnt out? I get it.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty much lost. You know what I mean? Like, I really didn't really know what to do, man. We weren't even talking that much, because I was just completely, I'd put so much work into him, and I didn't really know what to do. And then finally, I heard his mom say that he was walking at like 3 a.m, because he didn't want nobody from boxing to come see him, because the first thing they would do is they would just like, oh man, like, so he didn't want to see anybody from boxing. And when I found out he was walking at 3 a.m, that's when I was like, yeah, let me get back and help him. And then I found CrossFit and bring him over there to another CrossFit gym, and that's where he met Jordy, who runs Metcon Athletics, and they obviously created a good bond, and he's a really good coach, and he lost like 30 pounds the first month.
Let's go.
And then after that, man, we started watching Tyson Fury, coming back, and I was just like, look, let's start boxing again. And then we did that, and then he just got the weight down, like you said, got down to 165. And I know like his confidence wasn't quite there, because he had skipped the youth division and he went straight into the men's division.
I was just saying it the other day. I was like, hey, you probably don't want to skip the youth division. And he did it.
And he did, man. And I could tell, like, after his first fight at the Nationals, he was shocked, that he won that. Like, not like shocked that he won, but just, these guys are bigger than him.
Yeah.
And like, he's 5'6". Everybody he fought was 6'2". At least 6 foot.
Yep.
Okay.
Just throwing him over the top.
Yeah, bro.
Yep.
So like each fight, I could just see that he was getting, more confident and better. And shoot, he like I said, he won that fight. I truly believe we had won. We lost a split decision, but I think the only reason was because the first round, when you got a left hander and a right hander, their feet usually get caught up, and that dude threw a punch, stepped on his foot, and just had went down. But it was like he didn't hit the ground. He just like spun off.
Right.
The glove hit the ground. He got right back up, but it was an 8 count, and I think it played a factor in the judges, and after that, and I think that's what probably got the loss for us because he, but I thought he came back and won.
People said that about the 2020 election. I think is what that was too. So I mean, I get it. I get it. I get it. I got a few last questions for you, Jesse, because a lot of times when people see folks in this space, it's hard to humanize or to know that that's a regular dude. So I'm gonna ask you some regular dude questions real quick. I see who's the cat from YouTube that does all the doggone fights and everything in the world.
Jake Paul.
The Pauls, yeah, one of them brothers. He does what, or they do what?
They do boxing.
They do boxing. How legitified is a boxing when somebody may, what, I'm gonna just say it. The Tyson fight, all right, the Tyson fight and him doing the thing. Was that just a money play, you think?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I just think Tyson was an old man. He's such a big name fighter. Everybody gives him so much props. Jake Paul getting in there, just a big YouTuber thing.
Okay.
It was a money fight.
Is Jake Paul, and I'm only asking because I don't know fighting, y'all, so that's why I'm asking. Is Jake Paul as legit as I would just assume any fighter is, or is he only fighting folks that are older because it's a large money play?
He's not like a legit fighter, but he's not like a bad fighter.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like, he's put his time in and he's put his work in, and like
since 8 years old, though, right?
Not since 8 years old, but definitely he's been putting in the last 6 years of work. And I mean, it doesn't. You know what I mean? He's gonna get a little better. You know what I'm saying? But he can't fight nobody.
Regular.
No.
Gotcha.
No,
Okay.
He can't fight nobody.
With you being in this space, I'm sure you have folks that you look up to and like, maybe they're in or not. Who are some of the names that you just appreciate what they've done or their work? You got any of those that kind of come to mind?
You mean famous people or just people in my life?
Anybody? Yeah. Well, more so folks in the boxing, in this martial arts, this fighting space.
So you want to give my top 5 fighters?
Yeah. Let's hear your top 5. Let's hear your top 5.
Number 1, Roberto Duran. Shout out. Love Roberto Duran. 2, I gotta go with Chavez. 3, I gotta go with Marvin Hagler. 4, Canelo, and then I want to say Mike Tyson,
but that's too cliche.
Well, nah, because I also like James Toney too. So I'm gonna go with Mike Tyson, but just know James Toney's up there too. Yeah, I'm gonna go Mike Tyson.
Heard that. And so this part was more so kind of get the background and all that good stuff. We're gonna actually go into the fighting pieces and how all that stuff kind of plays a part in the next one. But a lot of people don't know, or when they see people either fighting, I'll just say as they're on the stage and stuff like that, I don't know if it's just for tradition, you have to kind of you can't show emotion locked in or whatever, but you'll see these 1 or 2 people that are just extremely on the opposite side of, maybe they always joke or maybe they always start stuff, and you have like the villain and the protagonist and all this type of stuff. What personality type do you like? Well, what's the guy? Hey, who's the floating like a butterfly, sting like a bee? What's the guy? Muhammad Ali. Why didn't I know that? It was just Juneteenth. I'm sorry, black folks. I'm sorry. So with Muhammad, I feel like he did a lot of taunting, like within the ring. Yeah. Is that a thing that's is that called bad sportsmanship, or is that just great entertainment?
I mean, for Muhammad's sake, I would say it's great entertainment. You know what I'm saying? If you're able to taunt and pull it off well, and get the fans all rowdy and get the win, then that's great entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're taunting and getting your ass beat, then, you know what I'm saying? Then you just clowning.
Yeah. Do you have a thing that you do where some folks will come out in the bodysuits, or they'll come out with I don't know, do you have a thing at all that you walk out to? Is your robe got feathers and little?
Oh yeah. We got a nice costume for this one. Our bodysuit for this one. You know what I mean? It's gonna be all gold with. I got my shoes and everything. Yeah. I come out looking nice. I can't lie.
Heard that. Who ended up designing this one, or is this piece of it Secret Squirrel stuff nobody really want to give away? Who designs the?
No. He's on Instagram, the Body Kid Customs. That's his Instagram. His name's Aaron.
Yeah.
He's been doing all my fits since fight 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, since fight one. Yeah, so I mean,
it's the pro side where this normally we would see these the fits to walk out.
Yeah,
okay,
mm-hmm, yeah,
heard that. Now, as all these happening, as all of this is happening, I'm sure you have to find some place to kind of stay grounded or kind of stay humbled. Pops, kind of how do you incorporate to making sure this kind of head stays right? Because you said it's about an 8-week duration that you're just balls to the wall.
Well, I think now he had a son about a year ago.
Congrats.
And I think now, I think he's finding his own peace with his family and pretty much, at home now. So I think that's keeping him grounded.
Heard that.
And gave him that extra motivation to take this to the next level,
Yeah.
So
because some folks don't like going home.
Yeah.
Some folks don't even like going home.
Yeah.
Some folks like golfing, and I want to golf tomorrow. So, how do you? What has been your way to kind of either zone in, lock in, or find time to do what Jessie needs to do? And what do you do during that time? Like, do you just vibe out, space out, go in an all dark room? What do you do to just?
Yeah, no, I mean, I just log in. I like, you know what I really watch? I watch a lot of Michael Jordan edits on like TikTok and stuff like that. Yeah, man. Like I feel like that gets me in the zone just because I'd be like, I mean, he the best ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
it's just like that just gets you there, and you know what I'm saying.
I'm about to flu game this, right? Yeah, I feel you. Dang.
Exactly.
And so one thing about you that you think people just don't know, or a lot of people don't know of, like, or you like really into macaroni art? Like, what's something you think folks just don't know about you that you think is pretty cool?
I really like going to the movies. Like if I wasn't boxing, like if I had stopped boxing, I'd get a job at the movie theaters.
Really?
Swear to you. I swear to you.
Just everything about it, or you just like how the movie itself, just that whole ecosystem?
I like being able to kind of just like escape. You know what I'm saying? Because like you gotta turn your phone off. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be on your phone. Like,
I feel that. Okay, yeah.
So then it's like 2 hours of just sitting there and just being like at peace. I really like the movie theaters.
Heard that. And then final words. People see boxers and be able to talk to folks all the time, and you are still really young and you're regular, like you seem approachable. You do stuff that regular folks do. You're not talking about, I usually like to go out and go to the botanical garden and do winery trips. And you're like a regular dude.
Yeah,
what advice would you have for somebody that's seeing this and is like, you know what, I know I didn't start at 8 years old because I didn't know Jessie, but now Jessie has gave me the slight bit of encouragement to go and do it. What advice would you have for somebody that wants to get into this space?
I mean, do it, man. There's no point in not trying it and giving it a try. Just go out there and do it. I'm a man just like you, and I got hands just like you. Anything you want to do, you can do.
But just so y'all know, though, he's knocking out 6'2" type folks though. Since the age of 8.
I am cold like that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I am cold like that.
I'm gonna go ahead and give him that. His hands gonna be a little bit different, but I feel you. So real quick, but before we leave, I want y'all to know a couple of things. As funny as I try to be, as clever as I try to be, there's something I do really well. I think that a lot of people don't do, and I'm not talking about my good looks. That just come from me signing the check. But when it comes to stealing, there's no need to go out and put the mask on. There's no need to do that. You just do it from your friends. Why? Because they're right there. They don't expect it. And now y'all know about the inside for the whole boxing ring. And how much did y'all pay? Y'all didn't pay nothing. So in the next episode of Stealing from Friends, make sure you go do all the things you're supposed to do on social media, like, subscribe, do all the stuff. We're going to have Jessie's information down in the footnotes. Shout out to the gyms he was mentioning. And if you got any questions, let us know. I'll put Jessie's phone number down there too. I got y'all. Y'all go ahead and hit him up. All right. Any final words from you, Jessie?
Nah, man. Just follow me on Instagram, Jessie James Fletcher. If y'all can make the fight, be out there to the fight and everything. But
absolutely, tell them about where the fight is going to be and located and all that good stuff.
We fight tomorrow in Arkansas. Obviously.
They don't know where we are, but yeah. Because this will be posted tonight, probably the next 2 hours.
It's at the West. I think the West Wind venue.
Okay.
Yeah, West Wind venue.
Do that if we name drop, we get a free ticket or what? Like what happens to that? Can we just
no free ticket? Y'all gotta pay.
Okay.
Y'all gotta pay the seat.
He said he can't get us in for free, but just let me know. I know a guy. Just let me know. Thank y'all so much, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
To whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worry. I get it, the odds seem stacked back against the wall, but even consider it such, no, you'll stand tall.